Hey, I'm Taylor. I've been eating Ferdinand's cheese and ice cream ever since I was a little girl. In fact, that's me when I was 5. Cute, huh? I found out in my history class that pilgrims were the first to bring cheese to America in the 1600s. Cheese making has changed a lot since then. Watch this video and we'll show you how Washington State University makes their award-winning cheese.
Washington State University has been making gourmet cheese and ice cream since the 1930s. We started out small, but now have 8 flavors of cheese and over 20 flavors of ice cream. We're famous for our unique flavors of cheese, like Crimson Fire, Viking, and our world-renowned Cougar Gold. Cougar Gold, the flagship of our cheese fleet. It's a bold and brawny cheddar that's enjoyed by thousands around the globe. We're proud of our cheese and work hard to discover new cheese-making technology. However, the origin of cheese is more humble. In fact, the man who first discovered cheese did so by accident.
4,000 years ago, an Arabian merchant set across the desert, having stored his day's ration of milk in a pouch made of a sheep's stomach. The sloshing of the milk, combined with the rennet from a sheep's stomach, along with the hot sun, created both curds and whey. The whey quenched the traveler's thirst, while the curds satisfied his hunger. As a result, cheese was born. Thankfully, most cheesemakers, including WSU, use an enzyme produced by bacteria rather than the animal's stomach.
Today, around the world, cheese is a daily part of people's lives. We have more varieties than ever, and some of the science that goes into cheese making has been developed right here at Washington State University. And why not? We have our own dairy, our own creamery, and we make some of the best award-winning cheese in the world. Cheese making itself is both an art and a science, and here at Washington State University, we practice both. The process of cheese making starts with hard-working cows and begins while most of us are still snug in our beds. Early in the morning, about 1,800 gallons of milk are shipped from the dairy to the WSU creamery, where it's tested for proper butter-fat to protein ratio. Why should that matter? Well, too much butter, fat, or protein can make the cheese either too hard or too soft. We pasteurize the milk first and then pump it into our cheese-making vat. From there, we add lactic bacteria to produce a distinctive flavor that makes cheese so unique. Now, all cheese has lactic bacteria, but the flavor changes depending on the type of bacteria used and the different cheese-making methods. 20 minutes later, we add the bacteria enzyme. It causes the milk to thicken and form a solid. We cut these solids into small chunks called curds, which are made up of protein, butter, fat, lactose, and minerals. The remaining liquid, called whey, is removed through a process of cutting, cooking, and stirring the curds. We also add unique bacteria to Cougar Gold. It's our secret ingredient that gives Cougar Gold its distinctive flavor. Students have kept these bacteria pure and alive for over 60 years. A computer lets us know when we've removed enough whey by regulating the time, temperature, and the amount of agitation. It's important to remove the proper amount of whey so that the curds can knit together. The next step is to pump the mixture to the finishing table, where the last of the whey is drained. Student cheesemakers trim the curds and cut them into loaves. If we turn the loaves, we begin the process of making cheddar cheese. In fact, this process is aptly named cheddaring. The students continue to turn and stack the cheese for another 2 hours to improve the texture. When finished, they feed the loaves into a milling machine that cuts the curds into small pieces so that they can be more easily pressed into their final form, called hoops. Salt is added to keep the cheese from losing its form. Without it, the cheese would begin to liquefy. A mechanical elevator and auger system carries these curds to the hoops that will form enough cheese to make 9 cans of Cougar Gold rounds per hoop. The cheese press squeezes out the last of the whey and helps the cheese form. After 1 hour of pressing, we remove the cheese from the hoops, cover the rounds in cheesecloth, and put them back in the hoops and press overnight. The cloth keeps the cheese from sticking to the hoops while helping create an attractive, smooth surface texture. In the morning, we slice the cheese into rounds, place them in their distinctive cans, and vacuum seal each can. As an interesting note, we started with 15,000 pounds of milk and finished with 1,500 pounds of Cougar Gold cheese. Not bad for a day's work. Each Cougar Gold can is stored in a 45-degree cooler for an entire year to intensify the cheese flavor. Cougar Gold is one of the few gourmet cheddars aged for so long. Washington State University makes 250,000 cans of cheese every year. Students and visitors have taken Cougar Gold around the world where it's instantly popular. One taste and you'll know why. We sell Cougar Gold at our own Ferdinand's Cheese and Ice Cream Shop, along with our other award-winning cheeses, ice cream flavors, and drinks. You can also purchase all of our cheese varieties in many grocery stores and online through our website. Ferdinand's and the Creamery are self-funded units of the Department of Food Science and Human Nutrition within the College of Agricultural, Human, and Natural Resource Sciences. The money we earn from the sales is used to pay student salaries, as well as to conduct research and support educational programs at the university.
So that's how Cougar Gold is made. If you haven't already, come by to Ferdinand's Viewing Room and watch it for yourself. You'll be glad you did.
It's easy to order WSU Creamery cheese. Order by toll-free phone, fax, mail, or through the internet. We have a fantastic call center employing friendly Washington State University students. In fact, they're ready for your call right now.
If you're like me, you love ice cream any time of the year. Hey there, I'm Riley. You know, Ferdinand's has been producing and selling tasty ice cream since 1948. Have you ever wondered how ice cream is made? Well, let's go visit Ferdinand's production shop and learn their recipe for greatness.
Not only does Ferdinand's produce some of the best ice cream in the world, we also offer students a great learning experience. It's the students at WSU who produce our ice cream, with lots of help from happy cows that work and play at WSU's own dairy farm. Early in the morning, a student employee drives the milk truck to WSU's Knott's Dairy Center, where dairy workers milk a herd of Holstein cows each day. They cool the milk quickly and pump it into the truck for the trip back to the WSU Creamery. Since cream is the key ingredient to our starter mix, we take a portion of the fresh milk and separate out the cream. Then we blend in some whole milk to give the mix a 12% butterfat ratio. The right ratio of butterfat to air gives the ice cream a smooth, creamy texture. Next, we add dry milk powder and sugar to the mix in a stainless steel vat. This thickens and sweetens the mix. Sugar actually makes ice crystals smaller, too. Speaking of ice crystals, adding a stabilizer to the mix will bind the water so that you don't get those annoying crunchy ice crystals in the final product. Now we add an emulsifier. Emulsifiers keep all the ingredients blended well and suspended in the mixture. Without an emulsifier, we would be more likely to make butter instead of delicious ice cream.
At this point, to make chocolate ice cream mix, we would add cocoa powder and chocolate wafers. The chocolate mix is used in flavors like chocolate, peanut butter, and fudge brownie. Oh yeah!
We heat the mix to at least 155 degrees and hold it there for 30 minutes or more. This is called pasteurization, and it kills any bad bacteria that might be there. After pasteurization, we send the hot mix through the homogenizer. This piece of equipment forces the mix through a small opening at 2,500 pounds of pressure per square inch, breaking the milk fat into smaller pieces, making the ice cream nice and smooth. Now we have to cool the hot mix using the plate cooler. This cooler has a series of plates running side by side, hot ice cream mix on one side and ice cold water on the other. This will cool the mix to below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the ice cream is cooled, the mix is allowed to sit for at least 4 hours. This aging time makes the freezing process more efficient, allowing dry ingredients to fully hydrate and helping the emulsifiers work to make sure that every particle of the mixture is evenly blended. After aging, we add the coloring and the flavoring ingredients to the ice cream mix. Because many of these ingredients are sensitive to heat, we can only add them after the mix has cooled. Now we pump the flavored mix into the ice cream freezer.
If you've ever made ice cream at home, then you know that the mix needs air whipped into it. Without air, the ice cream would be a solid frozen brick that would bend the spoon. Ferdinand uses special equipment to force compressed air into the mix.
Now the mix is fluffy, creamy, and incredibly delicious. But it's not ice cream yet. It needs to be sent through the freezing barrel where blades called dashers thoroughly stir the mix so that it freezes evenly. Normally, 1 gallon of ice cream mix makes 2 gallons of ice cream. That means most ice cream is half air. Finally, we add the nuts, fruits, or candy pieces, which are called inclusions. These are added to the ice cream just before filling up the 3-gallon tubs. We have to be careful to make sure that every scoop of ice cream contains the same amount of goodies. Students work fast to put the ice cream inside our frigid warehouse so that it doesn't melt. The warehouse is kept at minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. When it's ready to scoop and serve to the public, we transfer the ice cream to a slightly less cold freezer, about the same temperature as a home freezer. Each year, WSU students make over 14,000 gallons of ice cream. Much of that is sold at Ferdinand's Ice Cream Shop, where you can sample 20 different flavors of delicious cones, sundaes, banana splits, shakes, and sodas. You might even be tempted to take home a 3-gallon tub filled with your favorite flavor. So stop by Ferdinand's and try all the great dairy treats that we're making, or take home a can of world-famous Cougar Gold Cheese. We'd love for you to stay a while and watch the ice cream and cheese making action from our own Mark P. Bates Observatory Room.
Ice cream. Trust me, it tastes as good as it looks. So what's your favorite flavor?